Welcome to Triumphant Stories of Resilience with your host, Dr. Kim DeRay.
Hello, welcome to Triumphant Stories of Resilience podcast. And today we have Diane Dolbee Berg here with us to talk about, we don't know exactly how to name this, but organized religion or cult religion.
Or Jehovah's Witnesses.
Jehovah's
we
Witnesses.
could go with that.
Okay, why don't we go with
All
that?
right, let's do that.
Okay, let's do that. And the part where it can be very harmful and
Yes.
what it has done specifically in your life to scare you, to bring you some discreditation and split you from your family of origin, because what we know as religion is to keep it loving, and this didn't do that.
No, quite the opposite.
Yes. So when did you notice something was odd, or start from the very beginning when your family became Jehovah Witnesses?
All right. Well, my father converted to be a Jehovah's Witness when I was about the age of 5 or 6. My mother held out for about 7 years. But we quickly became immersed in that, where we were going to 5 hours of meetings a week, knocking on doors for at least 2 hours a week. And a lot of it was Bible study. We were no longer allowed to participate in school events, Christmas, birthdays, every kind of celebration other than the death of Jesus Christ were not allowed.
How hard was that when you're a 5-year-old and your friends are having birthday parties and you can't?
It was difficult, but you're soon then immersed in that faith, and so you're only allowed to associate with those of the same faith. So you start to lose contact with the outside world in that regard. However, I have to say, it's not the birthdays and Christmas, I think, that affected me a lot. I believe that we were encouraged to be less than we're capable of being. For instance, as a teenager, there was the Army ads that would say, be all that you can be. And I would think to myself, be less than you can be, because we weren't allowed to go to college. We were encouraged to be mediocre. That was the word I always thought of. We are mediocre people. And that's unacceptable.
Wow. And you thought that at a young age, that you
Yes.
could see it? And what made you question that? Because that's a pretty high level thought process.
Well, I used to think, like, I would be working with my mother. We call it door-to-door service when you knock on the door. And I would look at my mother and say, why are we doing this? Like, nobody wants us here. But apparently we were commanded to do so in the Bible, so you did it. So early on, I just didn't get it.
And so when you questioned it, were you...
Shut down pretty quickly.
Oh, okay. And how would they shut you down?
We don't talk about things like that.
Oh, that was the answer.
That was the answer. And I also have to say, too, I was very much a horse girl if you see pictures of me at age 2, I wore cowboy clothes and hats, and I had my guns and all that good stuff. And then I was taking riding lessons, and then I had to stop riding to go knock on people's doors. And that really got me.
Yes, because
Yes.
you love riding.
Yes.
To this day, you love riding.
Yes.
And that was not taken away from you, but it impinged on the time you had with your horses.
No, it was gone.
Oh, they took it from you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because you weren't to do
Because
fun
we didn't
things?
have time for that.
Okay. You didn't have time for...
So you can see, I think other people who have left the Jehovah's Witness faith will talk a lot about Christmas and birthdays. To me, who cares? It was the other things, like the lack of encouragement to be a fully developed human person, to go to school, to experience things that you should experience at a young age.
And what made you jump out then?
I don't think I jumped out. It was just little pieces at a time. I think the thing that got me, okay, there was a time, let's go with this. I started going to school at night, which was very discouraged. And I didn't let many people know, but somehow the elders found out. And I got called before the elders about me going to college, because why would I want to do that when the end of the world, or as they call it, Armageddon, is approaching? Why would I want to better myself in that way? And mind you, I was taking algebra and English. So,
or investing in your future, because
Yeah.
there's no future in their prophecy.
Correct.
Okay.
And so I think that was kind of the nail in the coffin. And also, too, about that same time, there was someone from the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses who left, and he wrote a book. And if you bought that book, you were considered an apostate and you would be kicked out of the organization. Well, of course, I bought the book. And I read it, and he said so many things, you know, where you go like, I knew it. I knew it. Just all the things they said about how the organization was run. And that did it for me. So well, they were following me around. I knew they were spying on me because I was dating a man who was not a Jehovah's Witness. So
And when you say spying, the people are following you in a car?
They were following me, yes.
Oh, is that scary for you at that time?
No, not scary. Not surprising.
Not surprising.
Not
Okay.
surprising. So I thought, instead of being called before the elders again, that I would take the matters into my own hands. And so I wrote a letter, and I said I no longer wanted to be known as one of Jehovah's Witnesses. And that was it.
And that was it.
I called my father to tell him, and he wrote me a very nasty note saying that I would become a drug user, basically a whore, named all these things. And he said I was the biggest disappointment of his life.
Wow, that gets you.
But that didn't surprise me either, because
Okay.
when you grow up in an organization that's so controlling as Jehovah's Witnesses, you know what's coming.
You've witnessed it through what they've done to others?
Yes.
Yes.
And then they announce it to the congregation. So from my home congregation, my father had my best friend announce it from the platform.
As a way to hurt you more?
I assume
you don't
so.
know. You don't know the logic. There's no logic in it.
No,
other
there's not
than-
a logic in a lot of it. But I'm just like, okay.
Okay. So this feels so attacking.
Yes.
Yes. And how did you deal with that? Because it's hurtful.
It is hurtful, but I have to say, too, it was so controlling, Kim, that I felt if I didn't get out, I would die. Physically or emotionally, I'm not sure. But I chose me.
Or both. So you were in survival mode.
Yes.
Okay.
Very much so.
Very much life or death.
Yes.
Because they were squishing the brilliance of you or who you were.
Yeah. There was, I'll give you another example. My father once said, and I said something about, it's a gray area in life. And he said, there are no gray areas. It's all black and white. And you have one of those epiphanies and you go, oh, this is where we have our issue. Because to me, the most of life is gray.
Right. It's not so black and white. In fact,
Right.
we try to move out of it being so black and white.
Correct.
So we don't paint ourselves in a corner.
Yes.
So what's your relationship now like with the family that's still Jehovah Witnesses?
They have no contact with me.
Because they're not allowed to?
If they have contact with me, they in turn will be disfellowshipped.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
How do you grieve that?
oh, it's been about 38 years now. My nieces and nephews are all grown. So I know that if they could see me now, we would never have the kind of relationship we would have if I could have been the fun aunt and have them over to my house to spend the weekend or something. So, I have replaced it with an amazing group of friends. My husband's family are mostly here in the Valley, and I have a replacement. I do have to say, there are times you miss the teasing. I have 3 brothers. You miss the teasing and the cadence of their speech. So there are times, I get little twinges, but I think it's been enough time now that I can kind of just let it go. And I have a horse now, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Let's not forget the horse.
The horse is so important, right?
Very much so, yeah.
The horse is so healing. Yes, we all need a horse, right? Or
Well, that's my cure for everyone.
Yeah. You should get a horse. Yes.
Well, I have to mention, too, so I ride at a barn and we show, and my instructor's just amazing, and everyone's loving, but the little girls, they're about 10 and 11, and so when I pull up, they're like, Miss Diane, you're here. And I help them with their horses, and we just have the most loving relationship, and it truly makes my heart glow.
Yes. So you have other relationships that are flourishing and as vital.
Yes.
And so you've replaced that with you have family, but also chosen family.
My tribe, yes.
Yes, your tribe. So that's a really good way to transition into something that didn't work for you.
Yeah.
And was so controlling.
And mind you, it was difficult. I'm not going to downplay that at all. I went through years that just were horrible. And I was lucky to end up at places where I had certain friends take me under their wing because I didn't know how to be, I'm going to use this term weirdly, but worldly. I didn't know how to go out and, go to clubs or do something
It
like
was
that.
squashed for you. You weren't
Yes.
allowed, or did you see it as evil in the same light that,
No.
did you see it as curiosity? What is this world out there?
It was unknown to me. So, yeah, again, super lucky to have people help me.
Yes. And then you have this special gift in yourself too, where you question things.
Yes.
I don't
do.
know if that gets you in trouble or
Well,
if that's
it's
a
good.
gift, but that place where you're knocking on doors going, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Or questioning the place where there's a future for you if you invest in the future rather than Armageddon stopping you from going to school.
Yes.
Because no one encouraged you to go to school. So where did you decide, I'm going to go to school? I'll just keep it under wraps.
Yeah. How did I decide? I always wanted to go to college. And so I think I was 25. I was 25 and I thought, I need to go now. So I was working full time, went to school at night, and I was still going to all the meetings and doing all the stuff.
Oh, you were still practicing
Yes, I was.
and then going, you were doing double
I was
time.
bad.
You're bad. In the best way.
Yes.
Because the rebellion and asking questions, I think if a religious organization or any organization can answer your questions or doesn't mind questioning, then I feel like that's probably a healthy organization.
Yes, and I think that's the thing too. What is the thing? If you have the truth, it will stand up to scrutiny. But you're not allowed to question
Right.
at all. So, yeah.
Right. And are you fearful for some of the people that have to be in that mode or frame of mind?
Not really, no.
So you're separated
Yes.
from that completely.
Yes.
So what happens when they come knocking at your door?
I slammed the door. Now I'm on the opposite side of the door.
Okay, so you don't
No, I
answer
don't
it.
engage.
Okay, you don't engage at
Yeah.
all. Right.
Because there's no point.
There isn't really a point. You live two separate lives, and
Yeah.
questioning them would lead you to, we don't answer those questions.
Right.
Right. Okay. So you've built this life that is so different from that life and any kind of support for your life. How did you do that? It's trial and error.
Oh, it was difficult. I do think, and I know you and I have talked about this for a number of years now, where I was out of my body a lot, just going through the motions. And I think I was high functioning in that, I could go to work and I could do things, but I never felt fully in my body. And that slowly has come back to me where I learned to orient myself. But I'm going to go back to the horse here. When you're on a horse, you can't think of anything else about what you're doing. And that's like incredibly helpful to me.
Yes, we all need a horse. We need a horse. Yeah, horse people, start bringing out your
Yeah.
horses for us to buy, because that's true. It is a place where you can become your individual animal with an animal that can teach you how to regulate your nervous system.
Well, it's interesting too. Horses can actually feel your heartbeat.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you
And
rhythmically...
they react to how we breathe, how we feel.
So you can feel a physiological shift when you're riding your horse,
Yes.
and a mental shift as well?
It stabilizes me,
And what about the emotional piece? Emotional shift?
I think, because you're outside and you look around and there's I think we've talked about this. There's the cactus, there's the blue sky, and I'll go back to the thing, when you're on the horse, you have to be there because it could go wrong. So, I'm fully in my body and my full senses when I'm there.
Wow, that's great.
So it's very healing.
It's very healing. And would you consider the piece that happened with the Jehovah Witnesses and what you experienced as abuse or trauma? How would you describe that? Or neither?
Or both.
Or both?
Yeah. The okay, I'm going to go with more trauma.
More trauma.
Yeah.
It's traumatizing to the nervous system, to your sense of well-being.
Yes. Well, I think too, when we're always talking about the end of the world, Armageddon. Okay, I used to wear glasses, and then I would worry that Armageddon was going to, this is as a child, I'd worry that Armageddon was going to come and I couldn't find my glasses, and then I couldn't see who was good and who was bad and who I could run towards and who I would go, run away from.
Wow. And that's at a young age?
A very young age, yeah.
So much fear built in you at a young age. And
well, I remember too, they would talk about when Armageddon came. Of course, we were always going to survive, but that the streets would be flowing with blood, and we would have to be walking through blood, and it was.
What a nightmare! That's like watching a horror movie and then trying to go to sleep at night.
I know. It's like, who in the hell tells that to their child? But
did you have nightmares from all their?
I had a lot of anxiety. Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh, and then that anxiety created this place where, this is a question, you felt like, if I don't get out, I'm going to die emotionally. In some ways you did.
Yeah.
Or physically.
Well, I remember at the age of 17, and I think it was 17 because I was getting out of high school, and then, most people at that time go off to college, right? Armageddon hadn't come, and I was like, I didn't know what to do with myself.
What did you do?
Well, I went into a huge depression. And one day I found, and we weren't allowed to go seek help in that regard. So I just kind of pulled myself out of it eventually. And somehow got on with my life.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you don't know, in a way, you just, you were robotic this way, in a sense, and got yourself out of it?
I referred to myself as an automaton. Oh. So yes, very robotic.
Okay. And then eventually started living.
But I did have, so I had a brother who got married at 17. A lot of my friends got married at 15. And that just was, we'll go back. That was just insane to me. So I think I lucked out in that I never married a Jehovah's Witness. Because can you imagine if you were married and had children and then you changed your mind? That's unimaginable to me, to not have my children speak to me.
That would be very difficult.
So I was very, I guess, self-sustaining in that way, in that I never married until
Until you married, yes.
Yeah, until I escaped.
And then married someone outside of that religion.
Yes.
Yes. Good for you.
I know.
Because now you can live life. Have your horse.
Have my horse.
Have your horse.
And not get married at 15.
Right. So you just knew that was just too young.
I have to say, so my brother, who was 17, married a girl who was, was she 20 or something? And I said to him, so you're going to kiss one girl your whole life? And he says, yes. And I thought to myself, I want to kiss a lot of boys and not, I don't want to kiss one boy my whole life.
Well, there you go.
I know. So
you gave yourself a little chance. Good for you.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yes. Okay.
That worked out well too.
Good for you. And then you have this, I think, thriving business that you create all by yourself, really. You're an independent contractor for...
I am a manufacturer's rep for about 20 companies, and I work in the hospitality area of things. So I get to knock on people's doors for a whole different reason, because they want me there.
Because they want you there. Yes, isn't that nice?
Yes.
And it's not doom and gloom. It's let's make your place prettier.
Yeah,
right?
And so, I love my job. It's funny, too, because I'm in my 60s and people say, when are you going to retire? I have no intention of retiring.
Yeah, why would you?
I know. I love what I do. And every day is different. For instance, I might be sending out emails one day and the next I'm doing presentations, or I'm working at a trade show, or, it's just every day is just fascinating. So I don't wake up and think, oh my God, I'm doing the same thing today.
Well, you don't have to sit behind a desk. You're
No,
a
I
people
don't.
person, and
Yes.
and you're flourishing that way. So what would you say to somebody who has been in your position and doesn't know the world other than what was told to them, doesn't know to question, can't question? What would you say besides get a horse?
Well, that's the obvious. But, it's to those now who are getting out or who are questioning, they have such a world of information on the internet. And I would tell them to erase your search history so no one can know what you're looking at. I would start with that. There's loads of people out there who go through their experience and what they did. So I think there's that. There's also multiple books of what people did when they got out or how they found their way out.
How they found their way out. And there must be organizations that help people transition from that life to this other life that has all these choices, which could be so overwhelming. Were you overwhelmed?
Oh, very much so.
But did you have anybody guide you through? You had friends.
I had friends, yeah.
And they were your guidance.
And here we are over 30 years later, and we're still best friends because, I don't think I would have taken me on, actually, and have somebody take me on and, take you under your wing, and this is what we do, and we're going out, and I just kind of went along with it like a little puppy.
Well, how wonderful that they did that.
I know.
Yes. Well.
But, again, I think there are online, there are I don't know what you call them. I don't even look at it anymore because it's so not important to me. But there are online groups where they help each other.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope that it's easier to find. I'm not sure that anybody in those situations are going to listen to this podcast. I think it's helpful for people that have removed themselves and they are floundering to how can we find a better life. Those are the people that I think you're inspiring to say, this can be done. I can get married, have children.
Yes.
Have a love of
you can have a life of your choosing.
Yes.
Not that someone has chosen for you.
Or the doom and gloom that it's not there.
Yeah. So, no, I made the right decision. The one regret I have is that I wish I had made it sooner. But,
Interesting. Well, you had to go through that till you can't do it anymore.
Well, I do have to back up. My mother was very ill for a couple of years. And, I could not rock her world and upset her. And, you can't do two major things in your life. So it was after she passed away that I actually did decide to leave.
No, you're a good daughter. Yes.
Well, you got to take care of your mom.
Yes, you got to take care of your mom.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So good. This is wonderful.
Thank you.
Because you're going to keep going. Yes.
That's the plan. Yeah.
That's the plan. Yeah. So there's always a future.
Always. Yeah, I would encourage people just to keep searching. And Lord knows it's going to be hard. It's extremely difficult, but it's worth it in the end.
Yes, and I don't think that's the piece that people understand is it's going to be hard, and it's okay. We can do hard things to get to the really special things.
Well, even as a young adult, I remember that I would scream and cry in the car because I was so frustrated. But my car was my safe place. And so, because you couldn't scream and cry at home.
No. What would they have done with that?
Oh, I don't even want to go there.
You knew better.
Yeah.
You knew better.
But, I think there's a lot of help out there. And I think you've been extremely helpful to me in learning how to orient myself and stay in my body.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. And then we remind each other.
Yes, we do.
We inspire each other back and forth. Yeah. To orient, to be in our in our live selves. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for coming and sharing
Thank you,
that.
Kim.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's been enjoyable.
Yes. And thank you for watching Triumphant Stories of Resilience podcast. And we look forward to seeing you next time for a very special guest. Thank you.